More than that, I'm sure. I bet they already sent someone to tail Officer Edler. Anything to foil our operation.
Oh, so you're tracking down some They've got some nerve spying on you like that.
Well, those tend to be the kinds of cases that cross my desk. If I could leave it to someone else, I would. I could have been on vacation right now. Mora laundering, to the tune of 10 figures and counting.
Laundry? What does that have to do with Mora? And who are these figures?
In layman's terms, a certain merchant in Fontaine possesses a large amount of Mora obtained through illicit means. But it's easy to get caught when you're moving that kind of cash. So you cover your tracks, create a front to avoid detection, and what do you know? You're illegal Mora. And this merchant's front of choice? Fine art and antique auctioneering. He buys goods from all over Tevat, brings them back to Fontaine, and rebrands them as pieces of fine art, driving up their price in the process. Then, when the items go to auction, he buys them up at their inflated price with his own illicit funds. And through this exchange, the proceeds he receives in return are clean. This process allows him to legitimize his illicit wealth. He even launders Mora for other criminals as well, a business which earned him the title, the Dark Financier. That's to be expected, I suppose. In Chenyu Vale, you can get your hands on exquisite antiques without breaking the bank. Tea sets, porcelain, jade, statues, all Liyue goods being used in illicit underground schemes poses a real threat to our So, instead of getting to enjoy my long-awaited vacation in Fontaine, it's back to work for me.
Okay, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's like moving Mora from one hand to the other. In other words, just disguising where it originally came from. But if you know what this merchant is up to, you go to the auction, wait for him to appear, then nab him right as he goes to purchase his expensive piece.
Not a bad plan, Paimon. But if you were the mastermind behind this whole scheme, would you really expose yourself as the...
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't want to be seen doing the dirty work. You'd send someone else instead. Like, if Paimon was the bad guy... No, wait! Even if Paimon turned bad, the Traveler would never... Paimon would need, like, a group of minions or something. Oh. Even if you track down the goods, if this Dark Financier guy isn't the one doing the buying at the...
It's not just a matter of who's at the auction. You also have to source the goods, transport them back to Fontaine, get them to the auction house, none of which are tasks he performs himself. He has a whole crew to hide behind. Tracking down the goods is already complicated enough. They change hands so many times, the trail is almost impossible to follow. So the most logical course of action is to play the long game. You start small. You find someone you can follow behind all the smoke screens, who'll lead you straight back to the Dark Financier himself.
Wait, so you were just pretending? And to think, Paimon thought all that stuff about wrapping up the case and taking a break was actually
Right you are, Traveler. Working with the Millilith and Officer Edler, we managed to launch attacks on all of the Dark Financier's strongholds, which allowed us to nab most of his crew. Those spies just now were his most important agents. The two people he trusts to have direct contact with. The first is Corday, a senior member of the Fontaine Antique Association, in charge of auctioning off the goods. And the other is Dodamani, a ship owner from Sumeru and longtime cargo transporter. They're under pressure to salvage the situation, so we let them slip through the cracks on purpose. The goal is to make them think that, by some stroke of luck, they're in the clear and have room to act. They think keeping tabs on Officer Edler will allow them to operate under her radar and get whatever remains of their goods out of Liyue. But little do they know, while their attention's fixed on her, I'll be secretly gathering the intel that's gonna bring them crashing down. So, interested in I'm curious how you take to this line of work. Could be some potential there.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled into this whole thing, but now we're a part of it too. Let's do it! For Yelan, for the people of Chenyavale, and for, the Liyue business world.
I admire your selflessness, Traveler in Paimon. Let me be the one to look out for your self-interests then. Namely, your payment. How about we do... Getting started is always the hardest part, but luckily, I have a lead. The Dark Financier's crew is even more on guard than usual, so our best bet is to do some counter-surveillance to get on the right track. And I think I know just the place to start. Let's head northeast and see if I'm right.
So flung ago.
All right, let's start our investigation here.
So, we can all agree this is just a normal stretch of wilderness, right? Paimon doesn't see any bad guys to nab around here.
Well, it didn't take long for you to understand our role here, Traveler. Thinking like a top... Like I said, we need to start small. If we want to track down the man himself, our best bet, and to do that, locating his hidden stronghold. Which brings us to why we're here. Pretty good vantage point from up here, don't you think?
Huh, guess so. Paimon can see the port of Elon Wharf, the boats in the distance, and some kind of tower.
It's a lighthouse. The Millilith use it to monitor the situation at sea. In addition, the flashing of the light can also serve as a means of communication. Oh, let's hear it. Not too far off, the Millilith maintain an impeccable level of security. This location offers a perfect vantage point to observe their lighthouse signals and deduce their patterns of behavior, which is a huge help if you need to move goods under the radar. So we should be able to find traces of the dark financiers.
Oh, okay. Paimon...
It's simple. Just take this forensic imaging device and investigate the surrounding area. As long as we're meticulous... Well, remember, an eye for deep... Some good fun. Whatever door this key opens could be critical to the investigation.
So there really is evidence around here. What if the Millilith noticed them spying and decided to investigate?
These objects suggest the Dark Financier scouts were likely disguised as fishermen. People like that are trained not to crack under pressure. All they'd need to do is come up with a believable excuse, like needing a place to rest. The Millilith can't investigate or apprehend a
Paimon can just see their smug faces getting away with something like that.
Not to mention, the traces on these objects are fresh, which means the scout here is still active and wasn't among those caught by officers. So we need to stay vigilant. We can't let them know we're... I had a hunch this area was being used as a lookout, and I was right. But that still leaves... Any ideas? Spot on again, Traveler. Looks like you don't need anyone to hold your hand when it comes to deductive Given a carrier pigeon's speed, the two locations should be close enough to deliver messages quickly. That means the base we're looking for, ruling out areas within line of sight of the lighthouse, as well as places with a lot of foot traffic.
That just leaves the shallows to the north of...
That certainly sounds plausible. You have the cover of the mountains, and the advantage of hiding right under the authorities. Well, our next destination is...
Let's light it up! Oh, brilliant! Ha! Locked on! Open fire!
Hold on to your hats.
Take me up!
Nothing out of the ordinary here, either.
That's right. No detail is too small to The evidence could be... All right.
Don't forget about the investigation. We shouldn't leave this area.
Well, well. Looks like you tracked it down in no time at all. Now, time to test out the key we found earlier. This isn't their home turf, so I doubt they had time to set more traps. I'll take it from here. The last thing we want is to leave traces behind in there. Caution is the name. You two keep a lookout. Make sure no one barges in.
You got it! This is a good point.
All right, that's done. I've noted the features of all the porcelain items. We need to keep a lookout for these features at the auction and pinpoint the person.
Wow, that was fast! You must do that all the time, huh?
Now, we wait. There are countless auctions in Fontaine. We can't possibly... I'll continue to conduct surveillance in the area. Keep tabs on the situation, and once his two lackeys move the goods, we can shift our...
Got it! All we can do now? Wait, and then follow them straight to the guy behind this whole thing so we can give him the old 1-2 punch!
This whole time, Officer Edler has been leading her two stalkers on a wild goose chase around Chaoying Village. Once they decide it was all a waste of time, it's her. Not to mention our operation has already put them under extreme pressure. We've forced their hand. I doubt they'll last more than 2 days, so let's meet back up at Yilong Wharf in 2 days. Find me near...